Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Welcome back to the show. Today we have an inspiring guest. His name is England Hall. He honestly has a truly remarkable story. This guy actually risked it all with just $500 to chase deals that most people just wouldn't dare go after. Through determination, strategy, and a deep understanding of real estate laws, he's found ways to close deals that rarely get done. In this episode, we're going to dive into his journey, how he took risk, leveraged real estate laws to his advantage, and turned impossible deals into success. So if you're an investor, entrepreneur, or just someone looking for unconventional strategies to break into real estate, you're not going to want to miss this one. So without further ado, my man England, welcome to the show, my friend. I'm excited to talk with you today. So why don't you just introduce to the audience who you are, your background, and just ultimately how you got here?
Well, I'm England Hall. I'm just a title creative guy. I don't really consider myself like some big real estate person. I just like to focus on the biggest problems so I can try to get the biggest checks. Other than that, like that's it, and live my life.
I love it. I love it, man. Thank you for sharing. So I'm interested, your origin story, right? I mean, what gave you the confidence to go all in with just $500?
Uh, Man, I had this job at Flowers Baking Company, which pretty much makes bread. And I'm there with like a lot of 60-year-old guys, 50-year-old guys trying to
Mhm.
retire and stuff like that, but they're working like 60-hour weeks. And one of their biggest regret was that they wish that they took more risk.
Mm.
And one guy, Leandro, was my supervisor and like a little mentor at the time, he told me life could be like a video game. Once you beat the game and you put it on the shelf, that's like just dying. So
Hmm.
he said that if you're not actively challenging yourself, you're not actively growing. So he said, at the end of the day, if you lose it all, you can always go find another job. You're with a job with people that was on murder 10 feet away from you, that committed murder 40 years ago. So he's like, you're not in no situation to lose anything. You can always find another job. Just keep your record clean and you can always get back here.
Mhm.
But the opportunities in life, you can't let those go by. So um, when I realized that I could pretty much flip real estate and make 10K without using any money, I just feel like that was the smartest decision to make. And that $500, like I wasn't a guy that penny pinched or had savings and 401k. So I mean, I made $500 lots of times and blew it and been okay. So how would this time be any different? It's kind of
Mm.
how I look at it.
Right, right, right. That's definitely, remarkable, man, that you're doing that, because most people, they stay exactly where they are for the rest of their life, right? No change, no growth, doing the same thing day in and day out. Now, honestly, I think that's the scariest thing you can do, right? I mean, on top of that, you're a family man, right? You have a family man you're a
Yeah,
four. I mean, what was going through your
yeah.
mind, through that? Did you know you were going to make it?
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Man, so what's crazy about it is we the lights had got cut off or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
With this deal, I think her mom had sent us some money to pay the light bill or something like that. And I ended up speaking to the buyer about this deal in Little Rock, and he said, "Look, man, I don't know if I better get this thing done. The title company saying that they went through 2 underwriters. Nobody can approve this. Like, it's just not going to happen."
Mm-hmm.
And I basically just told him everything that was going on in my life. It was him and it was this lady, Robin Hampton, at the title company, and I explained everything to him. And he was like, $5,000 ain't a lot of money to me, so I'll risk it for you. So he paid the taxes up to give us more time to go into auction.
Huh.
And when that bought us some time, that got us that third underwriter. And that third underwriter, I didn't know if the deal was going to happen or not, but the funds was already there. So she said, "Hey, if the underwriter approves it, we're just going to release the funds on the spot."
Uh-huh.
So this time we got the lights cut on. This is probably about three days before this happened. So we just jumped on the road to Little Rock, Arkansas. Didn't know if the deal was going to close or not. And it was me, my girl, my daughter, and my son was probably 6 months at the time. And we was like, well, shit, I borrowed some money from my mom to get gas to go to Little Rock. And we just said, hell, we going to go and just hope that, it works out. And my girl put the last little bit of change from a cash app in the gas tank, and that was it. And probably about 30 minutes of drive, and she called and said, "England, your check is ready." And that right there was like the best feeling ever. I went to the bank. The first bank didn't have the cash. The second bank did. And when she counted that money out, man, at the bank, I'll never forget it. Like I felt like I hit like a $50 million like Mega Millions lottery ticket. Like it was
Wow.
crazy. And my daughter's like, "That's a lot of money to have to pay back." But I was like, "Nah, that's ours right there."
Wow.
But that's how it happened, man.
Wow. That's got to be God. That has to be God, man.
Yeah,
That sounds like it's 100% was meant for you in the universe to make that happen, man. Like you had to go
yeah,
through adversity to ultimately be where you are now. And I honestly feel like a lot of people need to honestly go through that experience, right? Because it's actually only going to make you stronger in the end to persevere in business. Because as you know, as an entrepreneur, as yourself, I mean, most days aren't great. There's fires that you got to put out. It's chaos,
yeah.
but it's how you adapt to those situations that's going to hold you for the long run, right?
Right.
So let's talk a little bit about, you do title issues, right? So
Yeah.
to the audience that don't know, what that is, why don't you talk about how you implement that in your business and how do you structure those deals in your business right now?
Um, so I can give everything out, right? I can give as much out as I
As
want.
much as you want.
So technically speaking, I like title issues is pretty much a deal that would need some type of fixing or some type of negotiation for a title company to clear it.
Mm-hmm.
What a lot of people don't understand is there's a difference between what the title company would need to be done to issue title insurance versus what's the law in the state that you're in.
Mm-hmm.
For example, a power of attorney, as long as that address is listed, in the state of Texas, they can do whatever they want with the house if they got power of attorney.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the title company say, well, no, we need this language, we need this, and that to be able to satisfy their underwriters.
Mm-hmm.
So we primarily focus on deceased homeowners, but we got to do AOHs or probates, and then we try to go through the county land records and find out who's behind on child support, who got like Medicaid liens and stuff like that, that we could basically go negotiate down or
Mm-hmm.
work around to better get a deal to go through versus if they went to another wholesaler just wouldn't be able to do it. I just want to focus. I want to go where I'm celebrated, not tolerated, if that make any sense when
No,
it
that
comes
makes
to real
complete
estate
sense.
prospecting.
That's very interesting. So I'm curious. I mean, how did you learn to do this?
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
So my first wholesale deal I ever got in my life, well, the first one was 1,200, but it was like a mobile home. I don't really count that, but the actual house,
Mm,
was $500. Um, that $500, I end up using that 500 to get another deal, which at that time I was sending direct mail with colorful invitation
mm,
letters, and I ended up getting a deal to where it was a guy that was a lawyer in Houston. He needed I guess he needed his wife to close on the house or something.
mm.
But he was like, "Hey, I have power of attorney on my wife. I don't need her to sign. I can do it." Well, the title company wouldn't accept it. I had some Hispanic buyers. They was like, "England, I don't care. As long as I don't have nobody come trying to burn it down or nothing like that, I could care less. I just want the house." So I had my buyers pull up to the law office, and he signed the deed. They cut the check. She said, "England, how much money you want?" I said, "I want $4,500." And she wrote it out to me. That was my biggest check at the time, man. And I took that 4,500. It's a company called We Are Market People. I paid them to run my, cold calls for me. And
Mm.
I said, "Hey, I'll pay you, but the thing is, I want to see the back end. I want to see the amount of calls being made. Like, I want to see
Yeah.
that." And she was like, "Okay, cool." So when she did that, as I'm watching it, I'm like, this makes no logical sense. Like, why are you calling somebody that just got the house 3 years ago? Like, the whole point of wholesaling is to get it 30, 40, 50 cents on the dollar. They don't even have enough equity to do that. So it didn't make any sense to me. And so I started to pull my own list. And when I skip traced it, I was like, dang, these come back with no phone numbers.
Mm.
Let me go reach out to them first, and that's how I started digging. And then I looked at the tax delinquent list in Little Rock, and I noticed that most of the houses that are behind on taxes and are vacant, that you can tell been vacant for years, the owner has been dead. And then I just dialed in.
Wow, man, that's incredible. So I'm curious now. I mean, how are you finding these deals currently right now? I mean, what type of marketing you're doing? You're still doing cold calling,
So
text blasting. What's that like for you?
I like them voice memo drops from the phone.
Ah,
So
uh-huh.
how how I like mine is, so I like my business to be ran on something that's going to go for the test of time, which is taxes and deaths. That's
Hmm.
the bare minimum. It has to reach taxes and deaths for me to even waste my time on it.
Okay.
So first thing is first is that, and then with us, what makes us very different is, so like, this may be very controversial, but I look at I look at it kind of like dating. If I was in a room with 5,000 women, and out of 5,000 women only 3 wanted to be with me, I would probably be in the wrong room.
Hmm.
So it's the same way. If I don't believe in, if you have to make 5,000 phone calls to get a deal, that means you're just calling people that, or you're not aligned with who you need to find to do business with, or whatever it is. So with us, we go by every single record one by one, and we rate it. Okay, the hottest ones gets my time. If it's not hot, and then I could give it to somebody that wants to cold call, or I'll be lazy and send a text blast, and once a year and
Hmm.
be done. But the way we use is one tax delinquent list. We pull one list per market per year. Every list is a grocery list. After that thing gets filtered, we don't move on until we get a yes or no from every single person, whether that requires a cold call, a text, or a door knock on your face, or if I got to send a pizza guy to you on a Friday night at 7 and say, "Hey, call me at this number." We just don't pull more data until we get a yes or no, and that's one way to cut costs tremendously.
Uh-huh. So, man, it sounds like you got some really good systems and operations, put in place. How did you put those systems and operations put in place? I mean, you have a very strict criteria in a good way, but kind of tell us a little bit about, your experience in being able to build that.
Because I started out broke
Hmm.
and with no credit and no foundation. When so my son was in the hospital. February 10th is when we had him.
Hmm.
January 31st, I got laid off from Amazon 2021.
Hmm.
So I had to go. At that time, there was Houston snowstorm or whatever. I would go, Uber, whatever, to make a little change. So we eat in the hospital and things like that.
Sure.
So I didn't have a base, and this real estate didn't take off for me until, I want to say, July of that year when I started. So that whole time I had no job. So I didn't have a foundation. I didn't have a credit score.
Right.
Like, I was quad paying corner in my bills. So At that point, I couldn't spend money unless I knew for a fact that person had to say yes. So I had found an office for $300 inside of, I think it was Office Depot. They had co-working space, the only one in Houston. 300, just meant for me, bro. Guy was just looking out. And I'm telling you, bro, this is crazy. And I got a office space, and that first day I had my little Chromebook computer, and I wrote the top of the paper is who got my money. I got that from Grant Cardone from like 2016,
Yeah.
2017. And then I also wrote is every person that I call and tell me no, it's like somebody's killing my son.
Mm.
At that point, I didn't call you just because you had a house in your name. I called you now if it made sense. This person been dead 10 years. Ain't nobody lived in it for 5.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody done a probate. Like it had to line up to make sense.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where everything changed now. Now it wasn't I'm chasing the deal. Now the deal's got to chase me. It got to a
Mm.
point now we had sellers cash out us money because they got more information from us than lawyers. So
Wow.
whenever it got these deals, it got to a point where okay, well, getting the deal is easy, but the hard part is actually getting these things closed. But me just being broke and not being able to just to pull a 10,000 record list like prop stream offers and just spend $3,000 skip trades, it forced me to go one by one because I didn't have no money for that. And when I was able to go one by one, I was able to see things that these big guys can't see.
Mm.
And then now I'm not a sales guy. So people say I am, but I'm not. Now I can have regular conversations with people that look like me and I can impact them on a totally different level than some other guy that's 40 years old calling them trying to buy the house. And when they're talking about the house with me, I get the property not even knowing the bed and bathroom count of the house. That's irrelevant to me. The whole point is wholesaling is getting it cheap as I can. The house, I don't care about that. Like I lost buyers at the beginning because like, bro, what do you mean you don't got photos? You don't know what bed and bath. I don't. That's irrelevant to me. It's like at the end of the day, if somebody pull up in a Lamborghini, I don't got to know how much it's worth if it's a deal. But if the guy say, "Hey, give me 60 grand," I know it's a deal. I don't have to know the value of
Yeah.
the car, the year. That's irrelevant. So that's just how I looked at it. I just kept it stupid simple because I was too broke to make mistakes. That's
Mm.
all it was.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
You back us up against the wall. You have no choice. You have to make this work, right? And I think that
Yeah.
hunger that you had is everything that you needed, right? Because it's gonna build that dog out of you, right? It's
Yeah.
like you got no other option. This is make it or break it, man, right?
Yeah,
And
man.
I truthfully feel like again that happened for a reason, man, from God,
Yeah.
to put that into your life to ultimately get to where you are now. So let's talk about maybe just some of the most misconceptions in wholesaling, just real estate in general. As you know, there's so much content, there's so many things out there, and I feel like people get into this business for the wrong reasons, right? There's a lot of daisy chainers, which I'm sure you're aware of what that is, and just people doing bad business, people not understanding their numbers, how to actually do acquisitions, how to do dispositions, how to do proper transaction coordination. There's so many different variables that people just aren't doing the right thing, simply just don't know the business inside and out, and they're not doing ethically the right
Yeah.
things, right? So why don't you talk about that?
So technically speaking, I know one of the biggest problems that I come across is like with sellers thinking that wholesalers the end buyer.
Mm,
Um, with us, I just like to tell, like sometimes I do tell them that we're the buyer. Sometimes I don't. It depends on the person I'm dealing with because some people that I deal with, I'm gonna have to tell them that, but to feel comfortable, let them know that hey, he's not gonna have me do this and then put this off on somebody else and something else comes back.
hmm
And that's just me just being transparent. But for the most part, I tell people like, hey, my job is just to fix the title issue and then to connect you with a buyer. That way, as traditionally buyers, they just want to bring money to the table. They don't want to deal with title issues and wait this thing out for no 2 months to close. I'm the guy that deals the dirty issues and pass it on to the guy that got money. and that's something that most of them relate to. But I offer a level of service. Some wholesalers don't do that. But I try to keep everything transparent with my sellers. When it comes to my list, I try to stay organized. I'm not the best. I would say I'm not really a businessman like that. I'm just somebody that don't really want to punch a clock, really. Um, but I mean, but yeah, I just try to stay transparent with everything. And then with my sellers, with my guys, also with JV opportunities, I don't believe in giving away 50% on that. Um, but yeah, man.
Well, let's talk
Uh,
about your JV opportunities that you have right now.
so right now I'm supposed to be launching Dispo Joe's in April, April 11th to be exact. So pretty much what the whole thing of my brand is pretty much solving issues, solving problems.
Hmm.
So we got the thing with the sellers, deals they normally can't close, and we get it cleaned up for them, or we buy it outside the title. And then when it comes to actually JVs from like regular wholesalers, is we don't. I never really believed in handing over 50% of my check. Technically speaking, I'm not the sharpest business guy, but at the end of the day, if something costs more time and costs more money to get, why would I hand over 50% of that for something that could be done with a single text message?
Mm.
It just doesn't make any sense to me. But so the way that I do it is, well, I'm not a guy that's going to push a crazy, strange deal. If you got an actual deal, well, I'll pass it to one of my buyers for a flat fee of 750. And then also if a title issue comes up, you got me to be able to work it. And if the deal is good and the issue can't be solved within 60 days, I buy it from you. Uh, so that's just kind of my mindset on that. I just feel like it'd be a lot fairer that way, and it'd also be better for buyers because now buyers isn't getting a deal with 7 people on it, and everybody's just inflating the price when technically speaking, the wholesaler could have been basically 110 in his pocket at first, but he had to start stretching for 130 just because this other guy wants to get paid. And now you got this unethical thing going on to where it's like, hey, bro, just $750 when we close and we're good. It's a better deal for both parties and everybody. We signed an NDA for everybody to send us a deal. There's
I love that.
no backstabbing whatsoever. If you want a course and want to learn how to get deals, I will give you everything that I have for free. Just bring me the 750. Basically, it's that simple. But yeah,
Wow.
I want to change it with everything when it comes to rentals. Hopefully, one day soon, I'll be the first landlord that pretty much do like rewards programs when it comes to rents and houses. But my whole vision is to impact people in a major way.
Wow. What really sparked, that vision of you wanting to do that, right? I mean, it sounds like you have a lot of passion on wanting to give back and just make things better than what they currently are in the industry. I mean, what kind of inspired that?
Um, it's just like I've been trying to do the entrepreneur thing since like I want to say 2016, 2017. It's been a
Hmm.
while, bro. And I just noticed that a lot of people kind of uh, gatekeep or like they just
Yep.
overcharge because they think they can. Like right now, it's weird that most people don't know that their favorite guru is surviving off of JVs.
Mm.
That's the normal thing. And it's just like I'm not gonna knock nobody game, but at the end of the day, it shouldn't necessarily be like that. But everybody got their own personal views. But at the end of the day, I feel like as long as I'm able to give back and give like a positive impact on people, I'm able to pay my bills. I'm not struggling, able to take a trip or two. Then at the end of the day, I won. You know,
Absolutely.
ain't nothing forever.
Absolutely. That's awesome, man. So let's talk about maybe just someone that is in your position where you were years ago. They're in that position now. Maybe they have $500 or $1,000. They don't have a coach, they don't have a mentor or anything like that, but they're just wanting to get skin in the game, right? They want to start wholesaling or just getting real estate in general. What advice would you give to somebody? Actionable steps on where to start, and how can you set someone up for success?
Um, if somebody was in front of me and they asked that question, I gave them step by step. Pretty much what I would say is write down subject to, owner finance, tax delinquencies,
Hmm.
probates, everything real estate that you can on a piece of paper. Put yourself in a room, and technically speaking, you got to find out which one do you want to pick and be a specialist at. And then I would say you only focus on that and you educate yourself. And what we did is every state that we go into, we hire an attorney to sit with them for 2 or 3 hours and just drill them with questions so we can soak up the knowledge. I recommend, technically speaking, they do the same thing just with Google because they're broke, and then pull a list and find people that's doing deals like that and ask them, hey, what are all last 7 of your deals got in common? You take that data and then now you go target it. And that's technically speaking what I recommend.
Wow, that's a good stepping stone. I hope everyone's listening that is wanting to get involved, with this. And last thing we want to talk about, England, is maybe just some deals that have fallen apart in your business, right? We all know not every deal gets to the closing table. Title issues, issues with the sellers, people backing out. Why don't you give us maybe even some stories that you're going through or you've gone through, and just what you learned out of those experiences, or maybe some deals that you still were able to get over the closing table. Why don't you talk about that as well?
Uh, I keep it all the way a buck with you. So 2023, I lost everything.
Hmm.
Everything. I mean, like everything. Family sleeping in the hotel. Everything. So technically speaking, dirty title issues, I wasn't only heavy like I am now. At first, it was just locating people that's hard to find, doing crazy shit, meeting law library people outside the prison to get deals done.
Yeah.
It wasn't actual issues getting around child support, getting Medicaid stripped off and things like that, frauded deeds. It wasn't none of that.
Mm.
But what got me there was, technically speaking, it was after Christmas 2022. I got a deal, and I pretty much, for the first time I basically put about 70% of everything I had pretty much in marketing. And we had got about 9 or 10 contracts put in, and we was using this title company. They had all of our files. Technically speaking, one of the sellers signed the deed that Friday. She was supposed to be paid out that Monday.
Hmm.
Well, technically speaking, the state of Texas shut down the title company. So all at the time, I was told all the files is froze until the state of Texas release them. So at this time, I got sellers calling me. These particular sellers are calling me, say, "Hey, we signed the deed. We ain't got our dang money." So now they hire an attorney. An attorney calls me, and I guess a day or two after he calls me, I told him the situation. He found out that, hey, the state of Texas shut it down, and all my files was in there. This is after Christmas 2022. That was like my first year to where I'm just going.
Yeah.
That first year I paid off all my debt, all that, and then just after Christmas, and boom, this happened. And I wasn't the guy that can go pretty much 3 months with no income, only source of income. At that point, we moved uh to a 4 bedroom, 2 bath house. It wasn't a 2 bedroom apartment anymore. It was totally different, but I had to survive. And we ended up got evicted. And a week after we got evicted, we was in a hotel and I had 30K wired to my account. The money just started rolling in from it all just slowly catching back up.
Man, God has battle tested you, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Wow.
That's
That
why I
is,
tell people
yeah.
title issues, you don't need a lot of money to get deals. I started from zero multiple times and done it. You don't need a lot of money. There's no more, you're the small guy. There's none of that no more. There's no, I gotta make 1,000 phone calls. Like it's
Hmm.
been days. Like my VA don't even make more than 1,200 phone calls a year. Like it's none of that.
Wow.
So it's just knowing what to target. So it just worked out, man. It
Yeah.
just
It
worked
always
out.
does. It always works
Yeah,
out. It might not seem
yeah,
like it
yeah,
in the beginning, but it eventually always works out, and then you start to see the fruit, right?
yeah,
It's
man.
not
She
about
done
what you see, man. It's about what you know,
it's
right?
bad. She done seen me cry, laugh,
Hmm.
calm. It's all these emotions.
Right.
Just But it's just what come with it. At the end of the day, I'd rather go through this 10 times more than to go punch a clock and do something I hate.
That's
So
right. It's the
I'm rocking
process.
with it.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
That's right. That's amazing, man. Are you doing any coaching right now? Maybe is there somebody, are you taking on anybody as far as mentorship?
Um, it's a yes and no. So with me, it's all about the vibe.
Hmm.
Like one of my guys, Jess, I trained him. It's like a 4 day live to where you got me live for 4 days. And I trained him, I think within 72 hours after training, got his first deal. He made his 100K. I think it was within 5 months, I believe.
Wow.
Me and Justin probably made a couple hundred grand. We and him just made 60,000 together, probably like last week. But
Wow.
yeah, I do. It's just if the vibe is right, you call me and we jump on the Zoom and And if I feel like it, then yeah. But for the
Incredible.
most part, with Dispo Joe's, I'm giving pretty much all of the way for free though. For the most part,
Hmm.
for free. So whatever
Man,
they choose to do.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, England, man, I wish we had another hour to really go into some more things, but unfortunately, we are running out of time, my friend. But why don't you just speak? I'll give it back to you. You know, where people can find you. You know, where people can work with you. Obviously, you know, you do have the option for potentially coaching opportunities in that JV. So I'll just throw it back to you.
All right, cool. They can find me at Instagram at EnglandH_. You can shoot me a DM, whatever questions you got, I'll be able to help. The main market I'm in is Texas, primarily in Dallas. But we do deals in Arkansas and a little bit in Kansas. But yeah, just reach out to me and I'm willing to help however I can.
That's amazing. Awesome, guys. Well, definitely be sure to reach out to England. England, it was a pleasure to have you on, my friend. It was an incredible
Appreciate it, man.
conversation, and I'm just grateful that we got to have some time together.
I appreciate it, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, everybody, hope you enjoyed the show today. And as always, we will see you on the next episode. Take care, everybody.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.